Hello students, let's have introduction to basic electronic instruments like DSO, function generator, power supply, multimeter and breadboard. This is how the breadboard looks like. So a breadboard is a rectangular plastic board with a bunch of tiny holes in it. These holes let you easily insert electronic components to prototype an electronic circuit. This is the front side of the breadboard and this is the back side of the breadboard. Holes in this row, this here, it is connected in row. So for first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this first row is this first from here to here, it is connected in row, and the second row is connected now. So we can say that holes of each row are connected with each other in bus strip. Here this this first 5 are connected. Now there is no connection between these two, and this another bus is connected, that is again the other 5 is connected in row. Also these two rows are not connected with each other. This same function is with this complete row. Now here these holes are connected vertically. So this socket and this socket is not connected with each other. Here from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are connected vertically, and then there is no connection between these two. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are connected vertically. Again this hole and this hole has no connection between them. So simply we can say that this both socket is connected vertically and this outer sockets are connected horizontally. This is a multimeter. So it is called a multimeter because it combines the function of a voltmeter, ammeter and ohmmeter. It is provided with batteries for making it an ohmmeter, with shunt resistance for making it multi-range current meter, and with high series resistance for making it multi-range voltmeter. There are 3 parts of multimeter. First is the display, that is the LCD display. The another is the selection knob, and the third one are the spots. The selection knob allows the user to set the multimeter to read different things such as current, voltage and resistance. Now the 2 probes are plugged. These 2 probes are plugged into the 2 ports on the front of the unit, that is these 2 ports. So here this COM stands for common and is almost always connected to ground or negative of a circuit. The COM probe is conventionally black, that is we connect this black probe to this COM, but there is no difference between the red and probe and black probe other than color, because if I am connecting this red probe to the common, so it will act as common. 10A, that is 10 ampere, is the special port used when measuring large current that is greater than 200 milliampere, because here we have got 200 these currents are measured in milliampere, so here maximum we can measure in 200 milliampere. This port is the port where the red probe is conventionally plugged into. This port allows the measurement of current, voltage and resistance. Here are the safety measures that is to be considered. First, never measure resistance in a circuit when power is applied, and second, never apply more than the rated voltage between any input jack and the earth ground. Now here off indicates that my multimeter is in off state. This symbol indicates the DC voltage. This symbol indicates the AC voltage. This symbol indicates the DC current. This is the unit of resistance, that is ohm. So this symbol indicates that we can measure in this section the resistance. This is the symbol of the connectivity, where if I will take my knob to this symbol of connectivity and connect my both the probes, you can hear a sound. This indicates that the points are connected with each other. This pot is for the transistor testing. Now quickly let's go to testing some few of the components. Here I have taken a battery which is of 9 volt. This is a 9 volt battery. This is the positive side and this is the negative side. So I will put the battery like this. I'm gonna connect the red probe to the positive and black probe to the negative. Now I will move my knob to the DC voltage and set it to 200 millivolts. As you can see, this is showing 1, which means that the value that I am getting at these points are greater than the limit that is given over here, that is 200 millivolt. So I will move to 2 volt, the same situation. So at 20 volt I will be able to measure the 9 volt battery. Here you can see 9.6 indicates it is a 9 volt battery. Similarly, this section is for the resistance. This is for DC voltage, this is for AC voltage, and this is for DC current. Now this is the DC power supply. So here 3 meters are available, that is 5 volt, minus 15 and plus 15. These selections I will select 5 volt. So 0 to 5 volt DC, this port will be enabled. If I will select this port, then this port will be enabled. And even if I am selecting 5 volt, 0 to 32 volt DC will be enabled. From here we can power on our DC power supply. From here we can get 0 to 5 volt DC and 5 ampere current. Here we can get minus 15 volt to plus 15 volt DC and 0.5 ampere. From this we can get 0 to 32 volt DC and 0 to 2 ampere. Now this knob is to increase the 0 to 5 volt for this port. This knob is to increase between the 12 and 15 volt as it is written on it, and this knob is to for the measurement of 0 to 32 volt. This is the front panel of the function generator. Here power on and off button is used to power the function generator. So I will power on my function generator. Here you can see here 3 megahertz function generator is written, which means from this function generator we can generate 0 to 3 megahertz of frequency. This is the display of my function generator. The FUNC indicates the function that is to be selected, and FREQ indicates the frequency that we can set and see here. So you can see this function FUNC and this function is related. As I am pressing this button, you can see it has turned to square, DC, sine, triangular, waves. Now I will set it to sine. Now this knob is used to change the frequency. So you can see I am increasing. So the minimum frequency is 275 Hz and the maximum frequency we are going to 3600 Hz. But here as it is written megahertz, so below the frequency knob you can see there is range written. So this indicates if I am pressing this button, my range will decrease, and if I am pressing this button, my range of frequency will increase. So you can see by pressing this button, this frequency will change to megahertz. As you can see, I have gone from kilohertz. Again I will press it and I have reached 3 megahertz. Here this is the BNC connector port. So here you can see it is written 20 volt peak to peak maximum, that is from this function generator we can increase with this button, amplitude button, maximum of 20 volt. This is the BNC to BNC connector which I am going to use in order to connect my function generator with DSO. This is a DSO, that is digital storage oscilloscope. Here as you can see, menu on off button is there. By pressing this we get to see the menus on the display. Then this is a universal knob. These are the measurement values which we can see. By pressing the measurement I will get this measurement menu on Here as you can see, it is written vertical, which means this whole section is for the vertical control and this section is for the horizontal control. This is the auto button and this is the run and stop button. These are the input channels. So here channel 1 and channel 2, there are two channels. Some DSO may have 3 channels. So as we have 2 channels, we can use one for the input and the another one for output as per our desire. This is the print key and this is the USB host. This is the button to on the channel 1. So if I will press this button, you can see I have on my channel 1. By pressing the button again, the channel 1 is off. Now in order to on my channel 2, I will press this button, and to off my channel 2, I will press this button again. So let's go with the channel 1. Now I will on the measurement value. Here you can see channel 1 indicates VPP some value, then channel 1 has indication of frequency, then channel 2 is here. As you can see, it is written off because I have off the channel 2. Now these buttons are used to set the parameters of these menus. As you can see, I am pressing this button, and first of all, as you can see here, channel 2 off is written. So 1 2 3 1 2 3. On the third button I will press, then I will go to voltage, and as it is showing channel 2 is off, I will press it and it will change to channel 1. Now I can change the parameter with this universal knob. So I am changing it to B average, and then I will press the return menu, and you can see here my parameter has changed. This is how we can change the parameters as per our need. Here this channel 1 volt indicates y-axis scale volts per division, and this M 100 microsecond indicates x-axis scale, that is seconds per division. So if I will change, as you can see here, I am changing the volts per division, so my signal is changing accordingly. And by changing the frequency from the function generator, you can see my signal changes. Now with this amplitude button, we can change the amplitude of our signal. As you can see here, you can see this is 4.76 volt. I am increasing it, and here you can see my VPP is changing accordingly. Here as you can see, my signal is enlarged, that is I cannot see the peak to peak signal on this display. So in order to bring the signal in visible range, I will press this auto button. So my signal is back to the position where I can see the peak to peak of my signal. Now this another button, run and stop, is used when, as you can see, I am increasing the frequency. So as you can see, if I want to measure the value of this signal, but I cannot see the stable signal, so run and stop is used in order to stabilize this signal. This channel 1 5 volt indicates this one block value in y-axis. So here you can see my peak to peak signal is covering 2 blocks, so you can measure 5 into 2 blocks, that is 10 volt VPP. This is how we can calculate it. Now similarly for the x-axis second per division, it is written 100 microsecond, which means this signal is starting from this block and ending to this block, so it indicates 2 blocks. So 100 microsecond into 2 is 200 microseconds is for one frequency. This knob is used for the offset. So if I am pressing the offset, which means I am giving DC signal to my AC signal. So here offset, here it is from 5 volt to plus 5 volt, that is minus 5 volt to plus 5 volt. So at now it is at 0 volt, there is no change in my signal. Now as I am increasing my DC to 5 volt, you can see my signal is shifted upward, and if I am giving the negative, my signal will be shifted to downwards.